Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Taldrim Altar, which is going to be the site of the first game that I'm going to be casting from this European Pro Series. This is, in fact, going to be round 3. We're jumping right into round 3, and we are bringing you what should be an amazing match. This is going to feature in the bottom left spawn location AOW Goldfish, who most of you will probably know as seohyeon. seohyeon is, of course, a phenomenal player. He is, in fact, Korean. He doesn't play in GSL or anything. He's not a professional player in that sense. But most recently, I'm going to call this a significant triumph simply because I'm a little biased. But he, most significant recent finish that I know of was his 4th place finish in the Antarctic Cup. Did fall in the, he fell to Alive in the semifinals, and he fell to Haswabs in the 3rd place playoff. His opponent is going to be JunG, spawning in the top right spawn location. JunG is a Master League opponent, Master League player. He's very, very highly ranked in Master League. So, honestly, I'm expecting an awesome game. This is ZBT on Tal'Darim, and it is cross-spawn, which means that, well, we could be up for a really, really nice macro game going into this game. Barracks is going to be going up at the front for Goldfish. I'll probably call him Goldfish and seohyeon at some points, just because his name is there, so it calls to me. Anyway, we are going to be seeing a standard Barracks on 12. Refinery going down on 13, so he's going for a not super early gas, but reasonably early. So we can probably assume he's not going to do any really early marine heavy aggression. JunG is going to be opting for that 15 hatch. Yes, it was a 15 hatch. Going to be throwing that down. We'll probably it was a 16 hatch by the time it actually went down, but whatever. And yeah, we'll be waiting to see a pool. Probably nope. Going to be droning a little harder. Going to be playing a little more greedy. And looks like JunG is going to be saving up now for a 16 pool. And yeah. There we go. Pool is going to be going down right about now. Orbital is on the way up for seohyeon. And yeah, I mean, just talk a little bit about these players and the situation in the tournament. The tournament does have several Grandmaster signups. AI Headhunter is one of them. seohyeon is not a Grandmaster. Actually, on this server, seohyeon is Platinum. So I actually feel like this is obviously just his European Smurf. So I feel really, really bad for anybody who has never heard of seohyeon, because his name is seohyeon in the Zeke bracket, so people will see him as seohyeon. But I feel very, very sorry for anybody who goes up against him and has not ever heard of seohyeon and then just thinks he's some Platinum guy and plays really complacently, because seohyeon is definitely a good player. Going to be throwing down that factory as well. Looks like he's probably going to be going for a Reactor Hellion opening. There's the Reactor right there on the Barracks. He will be switching those two off. And, yeah, I mean, just because this is Tal'Darim, the Reactor is pretty vulnerable, so if JunG does decide to go for some early Zerglings or something, he may be able to grab the Reactor. Bunker's actually on the way up for seohyeon, but JunG is going to be able to get in there, probably deny that pretty easily. Yeah, 3 of them whittling away the actual bunker, and one of them actually going after the Marine. A couple of Marines are going to be coming in here. Lings will be able to deny them coming on in, and that should be finished. Denies that build, will be able to kill that FPV, and yeah, I'll probably force to cancel on this sometime soon. And, oh, he doesn't cancel the bunker. That is an unnecessary loss of 75 minerals there, or if you prefer, 1.5 Marines in minerals has now just gone. Going to be going for a pretty fast expand from seohyeon. And, yeah, I mean, this is a standard Hellion expand from the Terran player, and very, very standard on this map. Obviously, the Zerg will, in about 99% of the cases, take a fast expansion, go hatch first, so the Hellions are, of course, able to do a little bit of early damage if microed well, and if they get there reasonably early. We're actually going to be seeing seohyeon get a little supply block there, so these other 2 Hellions will be a little late, but, yeah, there's only 1 Spine Crawler going up. This is pretty nice placement. He'll be able to hit the Hellions, basically anywhere they try to run by, so, I mean, it also forces him to only really put up 1 Spine Crawler, and, of course, he will be able to get a couple pot shots off on that, and actually he will be able to get into the main with both Hellions. One of them is very low on health. We'll be able to roast both of those Zerglings, but if JunG micros his queens properly, he should have no problem here. And if he's able to focus down that one, oh no, they're lined up, and oh, he's actually going to be going for the attack with the drones, and I do like this, but he's not focusing down the low health Hellion, and they're going to do tons of damage. There goes one of them though, and that one is going to go down as well. 5 workers killed from seohyeon, and while that's not the most successful Hellion attack ever, it was much more successful than it had to be. Had JunG simply focused down that lower health Hellion, then, well, JunG may not have lost more than 2 or 3 workers. We're going to be seeing, he's going to continue the Hellion production. There are now 3 of them on the field, 2 about to pop as well. That'll get him up to 4. And, yeah, that'll be 5 right there. Scout's going to be denied. The fact that the army is down there will probably let him think that there is an expansion coming. He's going to drop that mule before moving over here. But yeah, he's going to be building a couple barracks. Looks like he's probably going to be going for a more bio-heavy play. But he hasn't really committed to that just yet. Only 2 barracks. We'll be throwing down a second refinery, so we may be actually seeing him go into a bit of a biomech mix. Biomech play. Which would not be bad at all. JunG going to be keeping his Zergling right by the 3rd rocks. This is very nice play by him. We'll be able to see exactly when seohyeon decides to try to clear those out. A couple of Hellions going to be mining this watchtower here. This one lost a little bit of health. Looks like there may have been a couple Zerglings there. Yeah, there are actually double Evo Chamber going up at the front. This is very nice. It will constrict this a little more. I do actually think that this Evo Chamber may have been better suited to be a little further up. But, not bad placement at all. Not a bad idea to go for the double Evo Chamber, simply because, well, he's pretty much committing to Lings. He's not putting up a Roach Warren. He's putting up a Macro Hatchery. He's not putting up any other tech. He's going very Stefano style, very Ling heavy. And, of course, if you're going Lings against somebody who's going to be using Red Flame Hellions, you do want to have that +1. 1/1 for Lings does make them ridiculously strong in the mid-game. And, yeah, I mean, while the Hellions will still hard counter them, the Lings should be able to take them out as long as they have 1/1. +1 attack is on the way. Lair is also on the way, as well as a bejugular number of drones going to be on the way up as well. Taking a look at the worker supply, he already has 55 workers with 12 more in production. And I have to say, I don't really like the fact that he's getting so many drones. Ooh, a little bit of engagement going down here. Gonna be able to take down both those Hellions. Those Lings are on low health, but they have such little maximum health that they should be able to run away and regenerate the majority of it without too much hassle. Anyway, what I was saying, looking at JunG, he's already at 55 drones. 58 drones now. But, I mean, just when you think about that, he's on 58 drones, but he's on only 2 base. So the fact that he has that much of a worker lead is actually completely obsolete, because he's not able to actually mine with all of those workers. If I look, you see all these workers running around left and right, that's because they can't find a place to mine. Not really going on over here, and that actually I mean, this is about fully saturated, but he could probably move a couple of drones over there and get a little more mining going on. Spire is going to be going down for JunG as well. But yeah, like I was saying, he's continuing to drone up, and as long as he has this many drones, the fact that he's on that many drones is obsolete simply because he's on 2 base, and I mean, you can't really use that many drones on 2 base. He should really be going for that 3rd. It looks like he's going to try to knock down these rocks right now. Ooh, not nice. Not a good decision from JunG. Going to be running right into those Hellions, and all that death, and, well, here we go. A little bit of biomech army going to be moving out, primarily Marines, a couple of Marauders, and then like a bajillion Hellions as well. Looks like 8 Hellions. He will be able to take out the creep, and of course, if he can receive the creep, the Lings are going to be so much more useless against the Hellions. And I don't think there's enough to hold this, ladies and gentlemen. There's just nothing on the field. The army supply is actually pretty high for JunG, but it's all in production. Oh, gonna get some brilliant Baneling hits off, and that was an unnecessary loss for seohyeon, and seohyeon will be able to keep a couple of his units alive. Will actually be able to focus on the Evo Chamber, and if he can get that upgrade, that's going to be huge. But is it going to finish? No, it does not finish, and that is a huge win for seohyeon in this battle. He will get cleaned up finally, and actually, I think he actually came out on the worst side there, simply because those Banelings got such brilliant hits. But being able to take out that one Evo Chamber was huge for him. We'll be able to delay this upgrade by all of 3 minutes. And yeah, that was definitely a triumph for seohyeon. A little triumph in a battle that overall didn't really go his way. JunG has now grabbed a 3rd. 3rd is going up. He is going to be grabbing his natural 3rd for his 4th base. And, well, the fact of the matter is, now the fact that he has more workers is going to be very, very helpful. But about a 3-base Zerg against a 2-base Terran, that's about pretty even until the late game. I mean, yeah, going to be throwing up another command center, looking like he'll probably end up taking this soon enough. He'll be able to run over there and kill it. Yep, got to be moving over there with all of his units, and then boom. Going to be killing out pretty easy mode. Getting a bunch of those drones. Going to be Maynarding over exactly what he needs to do. More and more drones Maynarding over. He's starting to produce those Mutalisks. Only a couple at a time, though. He doesn't exactly have all that much gas. Simply because he did lose 150 gas, because it was the Carapace that was in that Evo Chamber and not the melee. So that's an additional 50 minerals and an additional 50 gas. Not exactly the situation that he wanted to be in, but Yeah, his low mute account isn't really going to be the worst thing in the world for him at the moment, simply because there aren't that many tanks and there's tons of Marines. Tanks are only being produced one at a time. There are missile turrets going up in the main as well, which means that he should be pretty immune to a low number of mutilisks. They're pretty spread out. Not wanting to overinvest too much in that, but not a bad decision from Goldfish whatsoever. Just taking a look at that. It actually looks like mutilisks were able to swoop in and kill a pretty significant number of workers. I'm sorry, I'm a little rusty. Totally missed that. That does explain the low number of mutilisks, though. Now they are going to be joining up, and there's going to be a lot more. Yeah, he will see the drop coming in, but the mutilisks are way out of position. They won't be able to kill these medevacs. But if they're able to swoop in behind, they may be able to kill them as they run. Looks like this is going to be totally denied here, and he's going to have to drop on the low ground right here to do as much damage as he can. Yes, he is in fact going to drop on the low ground. That is definitely the right choice, because if he loads up in those medevacs, those are all dead Marines. And at this point, these Marines are doomed to die. They're only going to be their mission now is to take with them as much as they possibly can. It actually looks like seohyeon is going to be moving across the map with this pretty huge force, but here comes the engagement. Not engaging all that well. Positioning on these Marines is not all that great. He will force the detonation of all the banelings, though, and with no banelings left, these guys are going to be able to intercept that army pretty well. Although it looks like the Zerglings are going to be going for a counterattack instead. Just going to be running down here. You will see this army with the creep, and going to be sieging up those tanks over there, and he'll be able to start shelling any moment. There are a really large number of mutilisks on the field now. No upgrades for them, none even on the way. Whereas the Marines are already 1-0 and 0-1 rather, and the other 2-1 is on the way. Going to be dropping on the high ground of the Marines. Going to be able to do a lot of damage here. Looks like he may actually be able to take out this base. Just looking around for the Zerglings. Zerglings seem to have disappeared. Not really sure where they are. Mutilisks are going to be flying in. He will lose a lot of mutilisks, though, for the price of those Marines. There don't look like there are enough Marines to hold off this number of mutilisks. So, not ideal for him. Oh, that's very dangerous what he's doing, but the mutilisks do not notice, and he is not going to be able to kill any medevacs with the Marines inside. We'll be able to stem, taking out a lot of those mutilisks again. Going to lose more mutilisks than he really needs to with these Marines on the low ground as well. Going to be able to take out a huge number of them, actually. And down goes that last medevac. But look at this. He's lost already over half of his mutilisks. More and more are going to fall. seohyeon is going to be able to take out... doesn't quite take that one out, but more Marines are going to be streaming in here as well. And these mutilisks are not in a good position here. He has one more over here, as well as a lot of lings and banelings there. But he's losing way more mutilisks than he needs to. seohyeon is really going to be... he's on top of his Marine micro, going to be able to do as much as he can at this to delay the mutilisks, killing off those tanks. But he's done a tremendous amount of this damage to this expansion, and even if he didn't kill it, he denied mining for a hugely long time. Didn't kill more than 2 workers, but here comes the lings. Holy lings, Batman! That's a lot of Zerglings. And actually, this may be going in JunG's favor hugely. This is a huge push, and there's not a complete wall up here. Oh no, JunG! He's going to be able to lift up that supply depot. That is very important for him. But here come the banelings, and I don't know if he's got enough to hold this. Their army is on the way back, but that's not going to hold. And JunG does tremendous damage. The wall is down, and look at all these Zerglings. There are way too many Zerglings here. And these mutas are going to be dogging the tanks as they come back, and almost all of them are going to go down to the mutilisks. He doesn't have enough Marines to cover all of his bases here, quite literally. And those banelings are going to go off, killing quite a few of those workers as well. He is going to be able to fend off this army further. Oh, no, never mind. There we go. No GG from seohyeon. And seohyeon loses this game to JunG after taking a pretty early lead. Wow. I've been Penguin, and thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back with another game momentarily.